I'm Chris Gutierrez with NBC5. I'm not only a local news anchor, I'm also a product of Lewisville ISD. And right now, you're watching the future of broadcast journalism right here on The Lead.
This week on The Lead, should esports be considered an athletic sport in schools? We find out for ourselves.
And every student has a unique talent, but this Marcus student is making a career out of hers. All this and more coming up.
Hello, I'm Aiden Call.
And I'm Destiny Paxton, and this is The Lead.
Our first story is coming to us from Flower Mound, where they will be hosting the 2019 Native Plant Sale on Saturday, April 13th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., sponsored by the Native Plant Society of Texas. The sale will offer over 1,500 native plants from 130 different species, donated directly from the organization members' landscapes. Plant sales are a great way to find plants that are not on the general market, so if you or someone you know has a green thumb, be sure to spread the word and attend.
A big congratulations to our FMHS JV and varsity color guards for each winning silver medals in their class at championships. Both teams did their best this season, and everyone at LASD is proud of all their hard work. Here's hoping they win the gold next year.
Around the United States, school districts have been integrating video games into an athletic sport, and there have been mixed reviews on both sides. But what is the effect on our district? Destiny got a closer look on how the students and faculty feel about the integration.
With districts across the country integrating aspects of esports into their school's curriculum as an athletic credit, it leaves other schools who haven't yet questioning whether they should follow suit.
I think allowing video games to become a sport can be a good idea, but we have to differentiate esport versus sport, because esports is not an athletic sport. It requires skill, it requires effort, and it requires time, but it does not require working out and physical effort.
With 84% of teenagers having access to a gaming console at home, there are concerns of students having too much screen time, but there are actually valuable skills that can be acquired.
You will learn how to be part of a team, you will learn, to support your teammates, responsibilities of being on a team, competitiveness, fair play, all that, all that kind of life lesson stuff that you get out of it.
Despite its growing popularity, there's a pushback from numerous athletic programs claiming its ineligibility as a true sport.
If you're playing a video game, it's really not a sport. It's just something you like to do as a hobby. Something. It's like watching TV. It's really not. It's not physically demanding. A sport is known as physically demanding and something that you do generally outside.
For The Lead, I'm Destiny Paxton.
That was a very interesting story, Destiny. I think that esports is definitely going to revolutionize the way that we look at sports in schools.
Absolutely, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Of course.
After 8 years of being the FMHS principal, Sonia Lell announced the sad news that she is retiring after the 2019 school year. After 33 years in education, Principal Lell has decided that it is time for her to start a new chapter in her life, but that she's looking forward to finishing out the school year on a strong note. We here at the Lead appreciate everything she has done for FMHS and wish her the best in this new chapter.
And everyone at the CCE would love to give a congratulations to our principal, Jeff Wagley, for making it as a finalist for LISD's Employee of the Year. CCE's very own goes up against two other secondary principals in the district. The awards will be presented at the LISD Awards Banquet with a winner in each category. We wish all the contestants the best of luck.
April 2nd was World Autism Awareness Day, a day to spread awareness about the autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. Everyone who took part in this occasion dressed in blue, alluding to the phrase "light it up blue," and also wore ribbons decorated with puzzle pieces, the most recognized symbol for autism awareness.
Let's move it over to Hebron, where, as part of the National School Library Week, the Hebron Library held a reading rodeo this past Tuesday and Wednesday. The event's purpose was to celebrate receiving new books, and there were many fun things that students could take part in, such as taking pictures in cowboy hats, rodeo-themed temporary tattoos, and various backdrops to take photos with friends. They will also hold a petting zoo this Friday, where students will get the opportunity to spend time with some furry friends.
And while we are on the subject, if you're going to be at Hebron next year, you might want to listen up. Juniors Claire Chung, Jonathan Mejia, and Arzu Patel are beginning a new club called Hearts for Humanity, whose main focus is to help kids in the hospital through volunteering. The Hearts for Humanity Club plans to do arts and crafts, pen pal letters, games, and fundraisers, all for the kids. If you would like to get involved, they plan to hold meetings every other Monday during A Block in Mr. Snipes' room, 1535.
Hebron alumni Jesse Iwuji had recently competed in a truck race at Texas Motor Speedway, where his team finished 17th, placing him in the top 20. As the race was held in his hometown, Jesse decided to tour the area with his truck.
Visiting some of the schools in LISD just because this is where I'm from. You know, I grew up in LISD. I spent most of my years of elementary, middle school, and high school in LISD. So getting the chance to come back and just show people, you know, kind of where I'm at right now, and just kind of hopefully inspire some youth to, you know, go after their dreams and goals. You know, that's what we're trying to do.
He kicked off the visit at B.B. Owens Elementary in the Colony and eventually made his way to Hebron, his very own high school alma mater.
Last Tuesday, Hebron's NJROTC cadets had quite an experience when a CH-47 Chinook helicopter gave them the ride of a lifetime. Program leader Commander Ed Morales had been working with the U.S. Army National Guard to get the chopper to the school for his students' experience, and they got to fly all over the city of Lewisville. This exercise was the first of its kind to happen at Hebron, but the Chinook also visited Marcus last December. This experience even left some students inspired to pursue a career as a military pilot in the future.
Last week, Yearbook set up a table in the Commons at Marcus High School and gave any student the opportunity to win a free yearbook. The task was to take a picture and put it on social media, so plenty of students were winning either discounts on their yearbook or completely free yearbooks. This was in addition to the still active golden ticket scavenger hunt that we covered in our previous episode. So it seems like Marcus students sure are getting a lot of opportunities on this one.
Our next story is going to take us over to Lewisville, where the high school hosted their annual Mr. Farmer competition this past Monday, a competition similar to Mr. FMHS, Mr. TCHS, and Mr. Marcus, all of which have been previously featured on The Lead. Proceeds from the Mr. Farmer competition went to the Stuco Scholarship Fund, and the event itself was a good way for students to take a break from work and have a good time.
We would like to send out a congratulations to the Colony High School's Winter Guard, whose season came to an end on Sunday, March 31st, with the team making second place out of 48 competitors. For championships, they also received second place, which means that the team will go up a division. This has not happened since 2015, so we congratulate the Winter Guard on all their success.
Sticking with the TC Cougars, we are now going to check out the first ever academic signing day designed for students attending college.
Michael Hernandez has the inside look.
It's not just any ordinary school assembly. It's not just any ordinary pep rally. This is Academic Signing Day, new event hosted by the Colony High School to give all senior students the opportunity to sign to their colleges which they got accepted to.
One of our junior, she's actually going to be our AVID president next year, Jesslyn Roseberry. She came up with the idea to kind of be able to celebrate students that are signing to go somewhere academically. We talked to a couple of other AVID schools, like Richardson High School and a couple other schools like that in the area that have done them before, to get some ideas, and then we kind of ran from there with it.
Not only was this program open to AVID students, it was open to all senior students at the Colony High School. Many parents and staff were in attendance to show their appreciation for these hard-working students.
I am incredibly proud of them. I've been with them for the last 3 years and have watched how hard they have worked and all the blood, sweat, and tears that they've put in, and now they get to stand in front of their parents and their friends and proudly and publicly announce that they've made the decision to either join a university, a college, or military branch.
The idea to have this feature these students and feature them signing to go to college, I thought was a tremendous idea. So we'll just see this grow and grow over the years. So our AVID numbers as a program will continue to increase. We'll have over 225 next year and continue to grow 250, 300 students in AVID. And so we just look to the idea of this continuing to grow every year.
Big congratulations to all these seniors looking to continue their education beyond high school and pursue their careers. For The Lead, this is Michael Hernandez.
Did I actually see your face in that package?
Oh yes, I'm actually going to pursue media arts at UNT. It was a lot of fun to do the assembly.
Well, that's very cool. Well, we are going to do things a little bit differently this time and announce this week's Twitter contest now, as to give you plenty of time to submit. Aiden, why don't you tell them what it's all about?
Well, thanks, Destiny. Our next contest is an easy one for those of you watching an advisory. You just snap a quick picture of your class watching The Lead and tweet it to us at LISD The Lead. If your picture is chosen, you could win an AMC movie pass. This would be the perfect time to do it. I mean, they're watching The Lead right now.
Yeah, perfect timing, because after the break, Grant takes a look at some of the best places for prom pics.
And Destiny sits down to learn more about the Pharmacy Tech Certification Test. So keep it tuned to The Lead. This episode of The Lead is sponsored by AMC Theaters. With over 380 locations, great deals on tickets, and dine-in theaters, the friendly faces at AMC will make sure your experience is AMC amazing.
The Classic High School event is coming up, prom, and with that comes a lot of planning. You need to find somewhere to eat, something to wear, and of course, somewhere to take your pictures at. I'm here at Vitruvian Park, one of the few locations you could get your perfect prom pictures at.
This large-sized park has plenty of space to share with the community, giving you and your photographer the room to do the job. The park has many different scenes to snap away at, including an amphitheater, a waterfall, and a variety of islands surrounded by a beautiful pond. Vitruvian Park is just south of Hebron High, making it a great option that is on the way to Hebron's venue, the Perot Museum. Our next option is the Wayne Ferguson Plaza, located in the heart of Old Town Lewisville. The plaza being right in the middle of downtown means you can quickly move from a more green and natural look to a more urban rustic look with ease, providing you and your group with a variety of backgrounds. From boardwalks to flower beds to fountains, this location makes for a beautiful spot to take your prom pictures at. Finally, I checked out Sunset Point off of Grapevine Lake. This location is on the way to the Lewisville and Marcus venue, DFW Airport, as well as the Flower Mound venue, Stockyard Station. This place is gorgeous. With the deck overlooking the lake and flowers and vegetation adding value to the view, it is both a logical and a great choice for your pictures on prom night. You can find the trail leading up to the deck off of 2600 Edgemere Road.
Have a great time at prom, everyone, and I hope you get those golden pictures you were dreaming of. For The Lead Spotlight, I'm Grant Goodrich.
Welcome back to The Lead. Today I'm here with Pharmacy Tech teacher Mrs. Powers and Pharmacy Tech students Raquel and Rafi to get an understanding of what their certification exam is all about. Thank you all so much for being on the show today. So Mrs. Powers, I'd like to start off with you. What is your class getting the students prepared for?
So Pharmacy Tech actually has a couple different certifications. So we just finished the sterile prep, sterile pharmaceuticals test. So students that were successful in that test basically will walk out with a certified sterile pharmacy tech license, which is a lot to say, but basically they get to create they create prescriptions based on what the doctor has ordered. IV bags don't just magically come already with the drugs in them. We have to calculate that, base that off of patient's weight and all kinds of things. So that's one of the certifications tests that students just finished. And then ultimately the end game is at the very end of the class, the students will sit for the certified pharmacy tech certification. And so that's where we're headed right now is to finish that. And so they could potentially walk out with 2 different credentials. It is the same college level class, and it's done in a less amount of time, and it's a lot less expensive.
Well, that's very cool. So what role do internships play in your class?
So that's kind of the cool part of our class. I always tell students that we basically will learn the material, we will get to see what it's like to be in a pharmacy tech program, you know, from this side of being a student, but ultimately the job is actually in the pharmacy. So getting to do the internship is hands-on. The students aren't shadowing, they're actually working. And so every day these students are getting to go on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they're getting to work side by side with other pharmacy techs and pharmacists. And so it's one of the cool parts of the class.
Nice. So you guys just took the exam. How did that go for you guys?
So the IB exam, we had like a whole week of like boot camps where we had to learn all the chapters, and then we had like a little bit of hands-on. So the test was comprised of like two portions. The written portion, which was 100 questions with basically 80% math, and then the hands-on portion where you had to learn, do a calculation, and then put that calculation into a dose and put that into like the IV bags.
Cool. So what prerequisites are like necessary in order to take this exam?
Well, just learning the law, how to do it hands-on, how to do it properly. The orders have to go in a place that has to be specific. Unless you put them in correctly, one makes a mistake, the solution becomes all messed up. There's organisms coming in, microorganisms, and it can get infected.
Okay.
There's a lot of theory in behind it. There's a lot of hands-on. It includes everything from hand washing to putting on things called personal protective equipment. So like your gown and your gloves and your goggles and all kinds of stuff. There's just so many different avenues, and they did both a physical test as well as a hands-on practicum.
Cool. Upon passing this test, what does that mean for your careers?
Well, I do want to work somewhere like in the hospital. And so the IB certification does allow you to work in a hospital or like a compounding pharmacy. I think one of the main things I remember looking at was a nuclear pharmacy, which I thought was pretty cool because you get to work with like chemotherapy drugs. So that's like something I want to get into.
What about for you?
It can get me a head start if I wanted in my life later on be a pharmacy, and gives me a little bit, which is good because I get the IB certification, which is needed for being a pharmacist, and that helps me a lot in the future, and I can see just exactly what I'm getting into.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you guys so much for being here. When we come back from the break, David's going to bring us the latest in the district on all things sports. Stay tuned to The Lead.
You're watching the Lead Sports Update with David Suarez.
Welcome back. Here's this week's sports update. Starting off with baseball, Marcus outplayed Flower Mound 2-1 at a home game Tuesday night. Over at Hebron, the boys dominated the field against MacArthur, scoring 14-4. Lewisville made a comeback, winning against Nimitz 6-1, and the Colony unfortunately fell to Northwest, scoring none to 7. Moving on to softball, Flower Mound stomped on Nimitz, defeating them 10-0. Marcus and Hebron had a close game, but in the end, Marcus took home the win with 7-6. Lewisville wasn't so lucky this time, falling to Capel 1-4. And finally, the Colony also had a close game against Denton, but ended up winning with the score of 3-2. Coming up this Friday, baseball games include Flower Mound hosting Marcus, Hebron heading to MacArthur, Lewisville against Nimitz at home, and the Colony versus Northwest at home. Also this Friday, softball games include Hebron going to MacArthur, Lewisville hosting Nimitz, and the Colony heading over to Northwest. Finally, Flower Mound will be taking on Marcus this Saturday at home. Now we are going to take a closer look at a Marcus student who is showing off her talent through the interesting and lesser known art of silk dancing. Corinna Scholes has the story.
In 1959, silk dancing, known as aerial, came from French circus and started to get popular in the United States during the 1970s.
Silk dancing it's a circus act, and it's basically just a long stretchy fabric, and you use it to do tricks. So you tie yourself off and you use like balances, and there's a lot of like contortion stuff, but I do more of the drops and the tricks and stuff like that.
She practiced for building her goals in the circus career, and she is hoping to be part of Circus Olay.
I've had this obsession with flying since I was little. Like, I really want to be able to fly, and I figure this is probably as close as I can get.
If he wants to continue to do that, that's fine. We would be completely supportive.
Yeah, I think we'd both agree that it's great. We've taken her to numerous shows, and she gets really excited about them, so we try to encourage her as much as we can.
She introduced me to the basic step of silk dancing. The end result was fun to experience and would definitely try again, but only for the basic. For the lead, I'm Karina Skulls.
For sports this week, back to you guys.
Thanks, David. Now, as usual, let's find out who won our April Fool's Twitter contest.
Last week, we asked you to tweet us your best knock-knock joke. This week's winner is Bryce McGarry from Flower Mound High School. Congrats, Bryce. You just won an AMC Movie Pass. Missed out this time? Don't forget to submit your picture of your class watching us right here on The Lead.
If you want to know more about what's happening in the district or have a story you want to see covered, follow us on Twitter at LISDTheLead or email us at lisdthelead@gmail.com. That's going to do it for this week. I'm Aiden Call.
And I'm Destiny Paxton. And we'll see you next time.